Hello, Walking Dead fans. How are you? Just finished watching the so-called series finale of The Ones That Live, but it's its season finale. Read online they could do a possible second season if the ratings were good. I hope not. I hope they don't drag it on. And this is the wrap-up. It shows Rick return to the city. He talks to Thorne. He's the first person he meets. And Thorne is completely pro-CRM now. She's changed the way. She don't want to help Rick change the CRM. She believes in the way it is now. And Rick tells her that he survived the chopper crash because Michonne shoved him out of the chopper. Bolt lightning hit the chopper and it blew up. And she believes his story. Then Rick has a meeting with the leader, played by Terry O'Quinn, the actor that plays like John Locke from Lost. They're talking, and he wants Rick to become his second in command, to lead the forces of CRM in Portland. Because the survivors of Portland have been giving up a lot of fight against the CRM from them bombing them, even though they don't know the CRM did that, because they cover the tracks. So they're talking, and he says, well, my other second command, your friend that kept you here in the city, the one that Michonne, the guy killed in the chopper in episode 2, when they shot it down with those like arrows with explosives and stuff, and spears, or explosives, was going to be a second in command. So Rick agreed to go along with it. Tells him, oh yeah, I'll be a second in command. And he says, okay, you can ask any question you want in this meeting. So Rick asks him about bombing the communities, covering the tracks. He says, is it also true that you bombed other communities that were full of survivors? He says, well, yes. And Rick says, why did you do that? He said, we deem them unnecessary people. We deem them like we don't have to save them. They're a waste of space where the CRM could take over and that place could flourish under their regime. He tells Rick some references. He says, in Texas, we had some issues with a group of survivors. Hint to Morgan and his group and Fear the Walking Dead. Then he tells that there's a place somewhere where we have a group of soldiers pretending not to be CRM, experimenting on walkers. That's a reference to Daryl Dixon's spinoff where he's in Paris, where they're experimenting with walkers, these soldiers. And then he tells Rick that there's these communities out there. We're actually going to go bomb some. Well, I want you to be a part of that mission, he said. Some spies have told us about these communities. We've known them for quite a while, and we want to wipe them out and take over. He said, but there's something you should know. And then it shows Michonne. She sneaks into the back entrance of the city, goes unnoticed. She enters the dumpster lady's place. She finds the apartment complex she lived in and searches the whole place for that fireable Alexandria. She finds it inside of a cat statue. But I noticed that last week's episode, it showed a picture of a drawing, like a painting. Then it showed in the corner of it, Alexandria. So was it 2 files? Or just that one? There was a mistake there. Michonne destroys the evidence, and then a soldier hears her in the room, thinks it's the dumpster lady, enters it. Michonne knocks her ass out and takes off. She goes to meet where the rendezvous is to meet Rick, and Rick ain't there. So she goes back in, and she sees this group of survivors, CRM soldiers, go into this room. And she's like, what's going on? So there's meeting, a debriefing. Come on. So she goes, and there's kids and teenagers flashing through the screen like a photo slide. And they said there's these new communities that have been discovered. We're going to bomb them, take them out. And the spies in the communities have told us these people that that could be controlled, brainwashed to become CRM soldiers, basically. Well, it shows Maggie's son, Herschel. See, but Michonne don't know who that is because she's never met Maggie. Because when she left the show, Maggie returned. Right? So she don't know Maggie's son is that person. Then she freaks out and bolts out of the room. And we know why. Because the last person it shows is RJ, her son. So, did Dumpster Lady already give the information about Alexandria? Or is there a second spy in the Commonwealth we don't know about? Because, see, she could have been, when she was secretly meeting Gabriel, showing up, taking pictures. Like, they're saying, like, this person is deemed an ally. This person is deemed a risk. Stuff like that. Judith is considered a risk factor because of her leadership quality, right? So, Michonne finds Rick. Rick, at this point, was hiding, took out the leader of the CRM, fought with him, killed him. and put his body in a crate and was trying to dispose of the evidence, where a soldier showed up and saw blood dripping out of the crate. They fought inside of the elevator, and Rick got his ass kicked. Like, holy shit. And then Rick's like, I don't know how the hell he survived that ass whooping, but he did. And then he meets up with Michonne. Michonne fills him in on they know about Alexandria, not knowing that those people live in the Commonwealth now. They're going to bomb the community. RJ was on the screen. Judith's considered a risk factor and all this. Rick's like, whoa, 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 hold on. Okay. We got to do something. So they come up with a plan. They're going to blow up the missile silo room. Tent thing. They rig it with grenades. They wrap this now zombified Walker version of the guy that Rick killed in the elevator and the leader of the CRM, and tied cables around them. So as they're walking around the missile silo room, they're pulling pins off the grenades, one by one. Rick and Michonne go to leave to take cover. Thorne shows up. She knows Rick was onto something. It showed her journey, where she went to meet with Rick at the rendezvous point. Rick wasn't there, so she knew it was a setup. She went to the leader's room. She saw signs of the tussle, the fight between him and her and Rick. And he was gone, AWOL. Then he walks out of the tent, all Walker-like, and she's like, oh, shit. And then big explosion. Rick and Michonne took cover. Big explosion. And all the CRM soldiers were getting debriefed at the meeting, right? Outside as well, about attacking these new communities and that. They were wiped out from this explosion. Rick and Michonne survived. Michonne puts on a gas mask because the yellow gas, because some of the missiles contain the poisonous gas, not just a missile, normal one. And Thorne survived as well with a gas mask on. She fights Michonne. Michonne takes her out. Rick fights his herd of like a dozen walkers that were former CRM soldiers. He disposes of them. And then it shows Rick and Michonne flying in a CRM chopper. And there's a radio broadcast saying that the leadership meeting in Portland and the faction in Omaha, I've decided that the CRM is going to change the ways they send the radio broadcast. Instead of saving certain people and giving them access to like the main city there where Rick and Michonne left, that everybody's welcome to the city. Everybody's deemed an ally, a resource, not certain people. The spies in the communities would be hunted down and kidnapped and arrested. Everyone would be safe. And then it shows like choppers of CRM soldiers like dropping off supply packages to communities and stuff. Like you don't see the communities, but you can see them dropping off the supplies and clearance and that. Then Rick and Michonne land, and Judith and RJ's there. They're reunited. So then it shows Michonne are radioed in because they're in close proximity of Alexandria Commonwealth there, and Judith had picked up the walkie-talkie. So that's how the series ends, with Rick and Michonne reuniting with the family. Rick finally meeting his son for the first time. He's got Carl's cowboy hat on. Rick cries about that, hugs him. Judith hugs him. Everybody's hugging. So I'm left with a couple questions here, folks. One, Rick and Michonne must have went to that meeting in Portland to convince the other CRM soldiers, leaders, to change their ways. Because why else would they all of a sudden change how they were operating the business, right? And missions throughout the years. I wish they would have shown that. Also, so if Daryl and Michonne's the ones that returned, that Carol on the spinoff of Daryl Dixon show said that they returned, and Daryl, because the walkie-talkie radio transmission went static, he never caught the names who. So Carol's gone looking for Daryl, not knowing he's at Paris, right? I hope Rick is like actually leading a group of people like Eugene, Gabriel, Aaron, all that, finding Daryl as well. I hope he's not staying at the Commonwealth, just taking an easy retirement, because Daryl and him were close like brothers. They have done a lot together. They have saved each other's lives throughout the seasons of The Walking Dead. Daryl saved Rick a lot more times than Rick has saved Daryl. So I hope to God Rick's out there searching for Daryl as well. And the second season of the Daryl show spinoff is tied up there, as they referenced it when he said experimentations in a city, that's Paris. And hopefully they find Daryl alive. And because if not, I'm pissed off at Rick. Because he should be out looking for Daryl. Right? Because Daryl also kept his daughter and son safe when he was presumed dead. I can't wait for the second season of the Daryl Dixon show to hopefully tie all these loose ends up. I was upset that they didn't show Rick and Michonne reuniting with Ezekiel, Eugene, Gabriel, Aaron. Eugene could introduce them to his son that Rosita had. Sorry, him and I forget her name from the Commonwealth had. Gabriel can introduce Rick to his kid that him and Rosita had. Was it? I'm confused that. I never understood that in The Walking Dead. Was Gabriel the father of Rosita's baby, or was Saeed the father? Let me know below in the comment section which one was the father of Rosita's baby there. I'll love to see Rick meet Mercer, the badass Mercer from The Walking Dead show, and what his thoughts of a princess, because she's wacky like a cuckoo, right? I wish they all, when reunited, they all could have walked through the streets of Commonwealth, and everybody could have ran up to them, but no. We get this happy reunion instead, which makes sense, just like a family reunion. There you have it, folks. Let me know below what you thought of the so-called series finale of The Ones Who Live. Do you hope there's a second season? Or do you agree with me it should be wrapped up and finish it off once and for all? And do you also think that Rick is going to be out there with some CRM soldiers now, searching for Daryl? Or is it just Carol? Because if it's just Carol searching, and Rick knew that he was in Paris and didn't come to help him, I'm pissed off at Rick. Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.